Uh, uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay guys, how you doing? Today I'm going to go through a tutorial of how I use AI for mocap. And the reason why I use it for mocap for a number of reasons. I started off using iClone, and then I branched into DAZ because if anyone uses DAZ, see the high resolution figures. And DAZ originally wasn't used for animation. It was used for just making pretty pictures and stuff. And people freaked out back then. Oh my God, it's not real art. There's always been people trying to determine what the real art is for people. I used to do hand illustrations, and people like, that's not like painting. So someone's always going to have something to say. But for me, I use AI as mocap because I was frustrated for years. We didn't have a lot of animation tools for DAZ, but I preferred the DAZ figures, and you'll see why. Because I'm also going to probably do some iClone to AI pipeline tutorials as well. But I wanted to show you how I use AI for mocap. I also use it for special effects, and I'll do that as well. It's just so much easier, especially since plasma effects, particle effects, and things like that are very difficult for a solo animator. Like if I had a team, I would be able to do this. But so I'm going to try to figure out how to share my screen because I tried to record a tutorial the other day and jacked it up. So I got to remember that when I share my screen, I got to pull the share screen and do jump around it in different ways. So share settings, share. So right now I'm going to share our DAZ thing here. So I had to make sure I have her clothed because the other day I also forgot to clothe her. And what I wanted to show is why using AI for mocap is superior. I'm going to show you how to do this. So first I'm going to drape this outfit in DAZ. Actually, I gotta get her walking first. So let's get her walking. And what I usually do to give her time for clothing to bake and drape, I put it on on the end of the playhead at the timeline of 30 seconds, right? Because it gives time for the outfit to drape and be fluid. Then let's go. Let's get some hair. Well, actually, let's drape this first. Let me show you this pipeline. And I'm not going to edit this. I just want to show you how long it takes to do this, so you get a good grasp of why I made the choice to go from this process for mocap, motion capture, or using motion captured elements to making her walk in AI. So let's see here. Go here. Do, 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 do. She got those pretty green eyes. I've always loved green eyes. And the thing that always aggravates me, people think I like to wear contacts, and I'm doing it because you want to be white. No, the first person I saw had green eyes was a black person, a person of color had green eyes, and I always thought the eyes were really, really pretty. And I'm an artist, so I love color, and I love playing with the looks. So I like wearing anything that enhances or changes my look. I get bored with my look quickly too. So let's go here. Let's get her some nice hair. You know what? I'm not gonna drape the hair this time. I'm gonna give her an updo of some sort. Let's do something that doesn't mesh with go into the mesh of her. Let's do this. Uh, let's do this. Let's do that. I don't think this is yeah, this is perfect. Because I want something that won't, because when two dynamic materials clash and dash in the deep forest, it'll pop it. It call what's called an explosion. So, and then one thing I want to show too is I always save as um more than once, because if you get a file and it gets corrupted, you won't be able to open it if it crashes and it needs to corrupt. Confirmation. Anyway, so let's do a walk cycle. Now I could do it here. Ooh, what's that doing that? What is that? Drags me. I don't know what the hell that is. But let's have walks. walks. Happy walk. Uh, See, these were happy walk. Oh my God, why is she walking like that? Now let's do this one. Why not? That's a very long one too. Let's get her off of the. She's in the sinking in the floor. I didn't want her was sinking in the floor. Let's pull her up. Let's have her walk. All right. I will give an expression, but for this, I'm not going to go and talk about major details here. So here, she's just standing, and then she walks. All right, let's just do 4 seconds because again, I'm just trying to show you, and I don't want this to take flipping forever because draping outfits can take a while. So, do do do. All right, where you going, girl? Let me change this. Let's make a camera that will follow her. And I usually do the camera follow manually. There's a camera. Let's change that to the camera view. Let's save that. And then save again. So in order to get this to work in DForce, I have to bake it. Oh, why? Where'd she go? Oh, I see what happened. Go, it's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. Don't want it. We're gonna party like it's the birthday. We don't give a darn if it's your birthday. And I don't either. Ha ha ha. Anyway, let's see. So I am gonna take the camera. Do that. Camera. Back. And then stop her here. All right. So you just gotta walk in. And again, this was a saved mocap walk cycle I created a while back, and I create these anti blocks, and it just makes it easier. And you can modify it. So let's modify that a little bit. Okay, I'll show you how I would modify. I gotta unbake it. Okay, so oh, that's camera. So here's what I would do here. Add an empty block, make it 4 seconds. Oops, 4 seconds. All right. And so we're gonna modify her. I would take the shoulder here, her left collar, bring it up a little bit so her hand doesn't go into the mesh. Just bring it further up. Oops. And same, oops. It's got the block has to be open. You have to open it so you can see the keyframes. Yeah. So you can see the keyframes. There we go. So for that to work, I have to and then bring that up. And bring that's too far. And up. Bring it back. There we go. There we go. And let's do the same thing here. That way I can be assured it's not going to go through the mesh and break the mesh and cause an explosion here. So it makes her walk a little manly. So let's bring her shoulder down. I don't want her walking like she's about to kick somebody's butt. Okay. That's a little bit better. And usually I try to do things with the feet, the hands, the face. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. All right, so now we'll go back to baking the studio keyframes because you have to do that before you drape and use physics in DAZ Studio. Save it. All right. So let's have her walking. Jive talking. Uh, simulation settings. We're going to start from the bones. We will usually I will start from the memorized pose if it's just one character and she's at the centralized XYZ. I will do it. But if she's sitting or she's hanging out somewhere, I don't because it'll pop her back to zero, and then she flies back into the pose. It it's not good. So, but here, since we're starting her at the 0 point, XYZ, let's initialize. It's on duration. Let's do use animation play range, which is for seconds here. All right, let's okay simulate. Now let's watch, and like I said, we'll just go through the whole thing, right? And hopefully it's not going to do anything and bust weird or anything. Tall and tan and dark and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, she's one. She passes, goes. I'm doing a waiting music. All right, let's see how this works. And it is a really good fluid motion. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's not taking too long. But then it's a simple walk cycle. And this is a simple outfit. I wanted to try out. Simple. Please don't bust. Please don't bust. Please don't bust. Okay, so she's walking and it looks great. All right. I'm trying to make sure her hand doesn't go through the mesh. I tried to move it or fingernails or anything. Yes. Yes. All right. Almost done. Now, I also realized too, there aren't any objects in here. It's just, again, me just showing you simulation, her walk cycle. She's bugging me though. She's like a little walking doll. I'm gonna have to put an expression on her face. I'm sorry. All right, so let's look at that. See, pretty good fluid movement. See, so that's actually pretty decent. Let's save. Let's save as. All right. All right. Okay. Uh, I'm torn between if I should do some motion, some dynamic hair, but for our purposes, we don't need to do that. Maybe I'll do that in another tutorial. How to drape the two types of uh, dynamics without busting the material, as you could sometimes see happens to the dynamic clothing explosion. I mean, I love 3D animation, but it's very, very buggy and wonky. Let's save that. Oh, okay. It saves it takes once you drape something, it's only 4 seconds. When you drape something, it takes a while to save because you're saving all the data. All right. Okay. Good. Okay. So to talk about, how I got into. So I was a screenplay writer for a number of years before I got into animation, and I had an agent briefly, for 2-year contract. And he was like, "You ever consider animating your scripts?" And the first thing I did was try to find an animation house who would do it. And it was very, very difficult, either trying to get the money to do it, or just someone who had the vision to do it. And I had things I wanted to do, and they're not exactly commercial, but I wanted to do them anyway. So, my husband, who currently works he creates AI for medical facilities and use of radiology and things like that. But prior to that, he worked at creating AI technology for the military. So today, he was the one who said, "Hey, why don't you try animating, yourself?" And I was like, I can barely set up my email. But, I actually started learning how to do it on my own through tutorials. I taught myself and I was like, well, I could do it. And then it became a market for it and I started making money at it and I loved it. But the thing that frustrated me the most when it came to a lot of this was I'm going to start setting up some lighting and stuff so we could we will first I'm going to put an expression on her. Let's go find some expressions. What I usually do is I go into expressions. Let's try Venus smile. I like Venus smile. And so, as I was going to say here, so I started, making money at it and enjoyed it. But the thing that was frustrating, especially with Daz, was that trying to get, let's make her start to smile like this, right? And then I move the timeline and I try to give her, you know, her smile starts to open a little bit more. Then she gets a big cheeky smile. And then we go back to the previous smile. All right. I like that. She looks friendly. So yeah, so DAZ Studio is really great for beginners. And as I see myself more as a writer than an animator, it was good for my purposes of just bringing some ideas to life and I enjoyed it. But what happened? Well, it was just like for the longest time, I didn't like how static everything was. I wanted the hair to move. I want the clothes to move. They didn't have a physics engine. Maya did, but Maya is super hella expensive. And I wasn't trying to be a professional. I was trying to be a writer, realizing my ideas. And so it was like, oh, wow. Well, eventually they came up with D-Force, which was perfect. And there was even another a person who created something called Virtual World Dynamics, and I was able to use it for some of my animations. But it never, even with those advances, it never quite got the physics and the feel and the movement that I saw in my head because I was seeing cinematically, I was seeing scripts being realized. And so for me, it was never quite enough to get the idea that would realize my ideas as quickly as I needed and also as fluidly, as I needed. So we're gonna because like even as 4 seconds, it's gonna take me, I don't know, maybe an hour to render if I want it to look nice, right? And give you an idea of that. I remember one scene I wanted to do, I think it was a 40-second scene, took 7 hours to render. Okay, 7 hours. Now keep that number in your mind when I show you what I'm about to do. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, it's still recording. Okay. Mhm. Let's get some lighting. So yeah, for me, AI has been a godsend because it's unlike what people are trying to say about it. I don't use it for point and click creation. I use it in my pipeline to make things faster for me as a solo artist. Instead of having to wait 7 hours for mocap to have something, I could make it go a little faster and have it be exactly what I kind of envisioned as far as movement and stuff. That's it. No, that's not the light I want. Mm. Let's try this. Yes, I guess. Hmm. Let's render and see if we like that. Mm, that's a pretty green. Ooh, it's too bright. I like it though. I like the green with the green eyes and the yellow with the dots. That's beautiful. So let's do this. Yes, let's cancel the render. Come on, papers. Close. All right, so we're going to use utilities. We're going to bring that brightness down some. There we go. And see, there's a lot of specular noise in here. So this is my Isabella character for those unfamiliar with my music love magic. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to reduce the noise here. Let's turn that on. And so we're gonna see here, is you're gonna see the specular noise reduce. Let's see how long it takes. It takes to get what I want and as a result. So that's a pretty clean result. It takes about 24 seconds. And again, remember this is without any other things in here. So that took about 40 seconds. And we'll use this as our starting image. And the image walks. It's a walks save on the desktop. All right. So this is how many frames? 121. So let's say 121 times 40 is what? Because I'm not good with math. Let's do that. 141 times 40. Wow. 5,640. 50, so say 56, 57. It took me rough an hour to do 4 seconds. An hour to do 4 seconds. Now, I want you to calculate this. If you're an independent solo artist, right? Can you imagine how much money you're actually losing with that paradigm? During that time, I made money. I could have made more money if I could have been faster, but I made money. I also supplemented doing SEO writing, marketing writing, and stuff like that. But if I truth be told, I would have much rather been animating, right, as opposed to writing. So yeah, it would take me about an hour to do 4 seconds, right? So that's now again an hour, 4 seconds, right? So let's save this. And I'm going to stop the share here. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to pull up Gemini. I'm going to pull the image into Gemini. I'm going to write a prompt. I'm going to want you guys to see what it takes for me to do mocap. You know, hold on. What the heck did I just do? Gemini. Share. Okay. So, okay, sorry, I moved it and it was like, what are you doing? So let me do this. I'll go back to Google Gemini, share. All right. So I'm going to pull that image I just did, and I'm going to show you how I do mocap with AI. And then again, put in your mind 1 hour, 4 seconds, and all the time it took prior to that to do that. It'll probably make you appreciate some of my older animation more because it took me freaking forever to do that animation. All right, hold on, guys. All right, guys, sorry about that. So I'm going to show you what I do here. So let's pull her image in. Where's my image? There she is. So I'm going to write, Isa walks down a busy street during the day. She is happy and excited. Her walk is feminine and cute. She thinks about her boyfriend, Aaron. Okay, let's make sure I got all that. All right, and I'm going to use the glam there. All right, she thinks about her boyfriend, Aaron. Da, da, da. So Let's see how long this takes now. Gemini only does 10 seconds, but if you use Midjourney, Midjourney goes all the way to 21 seconds. So let's see what that does. And as we're waiting, so I just wanted to say that as far as this kind of stuff goes, this has tremendously helped me. Um, because think about it, having to wait one time 26, I think it was like 26 hours for uh, one very super long animation to do to something where it would take me I just type in what I'd like the motion capture to have. And I use my own base characters. I've been using for years. These are characters I've been using for years for my particular series. And be able to use that and be able to pulling in to create these things. So also to let people know, AI videos, even on the bigger platforms, run no longer than 21 seconds. So for me to do a full 15-minute video, 8 to 15 minute video, even with AI, still takes a lot of post production, putting it together, color grading, all that stuff. This just helps me with emotion. It helps me with see, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. See what I'm saying? This is what I was wanting for 15 years. This was what I was wanting to get the feel and the mood of my characters. And it's just amazing to be able to do it. The people who don't understand what people like me, creators like me, are doing with AI, they don't get how much of a game changer this is, how it makes me competitive with other studios. And I don't have to go and like I've paid people to create mocap and stuff in the past, but it was super expensive. And as a mother of two children, I don't have the ability, to do that. It's just not, yeah, it's just not on point to do that. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, I gotta play that one more again. You have no idea what it feels like to have a character, to realize it in 3D and then see it moving and talking in a real way, not in a static way, not in a weird way, not in a clunky way, not in an uncanny valley way. AI is a game changer for people like me. It helps me speed up my processes. When I can speed up processes, I can make up more money. As an indie creator, I can be competitive with the big guys. So I think that the anti AI people who think they're helping artists, they're not helping artists like me, who's been in this business for 10 years. They're hurting people like me. If they really hate AI, where it's going, they should go after the tech giants that are making it. They should go after Disney and Pixar, who use way more resources than AI does when it comes to computational resources, things like that. But all that said, thank you guys for being here with me and checking this out with me. I'll do the next thing in iClone and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.